Next up, we have the bucket list. Now, this is an exercise that we are going to do live right now on the 100th try. No matter what, the template into your Wix, into your Google account, please can you do so. You also don't have to use the template. You can write this out. There is some evidence that writing out these sorts of exercises helps your brain think a little bit more creatively, so do feel free to write it out. Or if you have, I don't know, a Notion account or an Apple Notes or a Google Keep or whatever software you want to use to write things down, you're going to need something to write on because this is going to be a little bit interactive. And the idea is we are going to be creating our bucket list. And I'm going to be doing it alongside as well, so you can see what mine looks like afterwards. I'm going to put on some vibey music. So this is the bucket list prompt, and this is an exercise we're going to do for maybe 5-ish minutes. You've got unlimited time and money, and you're not afraid of failure or of what others will think. Cool? In this world, what would be on your personal bucket list? What would you like to see, or do, or experience, or have, or learn, or create, or contribute to before you die? The idea here is we're just writing, the goal here is to write quantity rather than quality. We're just writing down as much stuff as we possibly can. Now in the template and on here, I'm going to give you 10 different prompts. Feel free to do all 10, feel free to take a handful, whatever resonates with you. What would you like to do? Where would you like to go? Who would you like to be? What would you like to see? What would you like to learn? What would you like to experience? What would you like to contribute to? What would you like to have? The have one is interesting. Don't worry, we're not going to judge. You can be as materialistic as you like. I've got a Porsche Taycan on my list of things I'd like to have. I'd like to have a private jet as well. That's okay, we can just put this down. The point is not to show this to anyone. The point is not to virtue signal. The point is to just like dream without limits, just like go with whatever feels right. What would you like? I'd like to have 4 kids as well. What would you like to create? What would you like to overcome? He says, having 0 kids currently, imagining he wants 4. So, we're gonna put a timer on for probably, I think 5 minutes. And the goal is to literally write down as much stuff as you possibly can in any of these different categories. Again, we're going for quantity rather than quality, and hopefully this will reveal something interesting about our motivations, our desires, our aspirations, and the list is private, no one else has to see it, and I'm gonna create a 5-minute timer. Let's go! Okay, so I can read you out the things I've got on mine so far. This, in my experience, often takes about 15-20 minutes to get like a big list, but for me, I want to learn snowboarding, learn Japanese, learn Mandarin, learn Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, learn guitar fingerstyle, learn music theory, learn piano to an amazing level, learn songwriting, create an album of original songs, create more books, create apps that millions use every day, create community experiences, create events like Tony Robbins, experience more psychedelics, experience spiritual enlightenment, do snowboarding, take friends and family on a ski trip and a surf trip and a cruise, contribute to education and access to education, contribute to eradicating poverty, contribute to helping everyone make the most of their time. This was just like 1 page worth of stuff, and normally when I do this exercise, it takes about 20 minutes to really kind of get into the swing of things, and sometimes even a little bit longer than that to really be like, that's something I didn't quite think of last time I did the exercise. The point of an exercise like this, just like the point of a lot of the stuff in the Life Compass, basically it's like we have this North Star that is sort of like this, I guess, perfect sense of, based on our own personal values and based on like our authenticity and the way we want to have an impact in the world and all that stuff. We have this North Star that's like, that's the direction that like our mind, heart, and soul wants us to go in. But you can't just see where it is because that would be too easy. And so you got to use different strategies to point a finger at the North Star. One of the fingers is the eulogy prompt, where you imagine what you want people to say at your funeral. One of the fingers is the bucket list prompt, where you imagine like, hey, I've got all the time and money in the world. I'm not afraid of failure. I'm not worried about what others will think. What would I do in that world? What would I like to contribute to? What impact would I like to have? What would I like to have? What would I like to see? What would I like to experience? That is another finger. Two of the other fingers are the mission prompt and the success prompt, which we're going to go over in just a second. But the point is that we don't want to fixate on the fingers. We want to recognize that these are just fingers pointing towards the North Star. And that thing that it's pointing towards is this sort of like perfect alignment where we're working towards something that we feel authentically, intrinsically represents who we are as people and also the impact that we'd like to have. So yeah, it's not that any one of these exercises is perfect. I've gotten these exercises across different things over the years, different like life coaching, different events, different books. I've made up some of them myself. These are all things that are getting at what are our own intrinsic values and like, yeah, what is that North Star? This is also a prompt that is on the template, and this is also something for you to work through and sort of finish off when you have done your homework. So we've talked about the eulogy prompt, which we did in Spark and which is going to be your homework if you haven't done yet. And we've talked about the bucket list prompt, which is also going to be your homework to finish off. And we've just given you a little bit of a test, a little bit of an experience of what that's like.